You've been lied to. They told you that bad credit means you need thousands down just to maybe get approved for a car. But I helped a close friend of mine who had a credit score in the mid 500s walk into the dealership and leave with a $40,000 car. Zero down, no cosigner, and no crazy payments. And if you watch this all the way through, you know exactly how to do this too. Here's the truth. Auto loans are actually one of the easiest loans to get, even with bad credit, because the car is the collateral. But that's where most people get trapped. You walk in desperate, the dealer smells it, and before you know it, you're locked into a 26 interest loan with payments so high that you're choosing between gas or groceries. I've run a credit repair agency and have helped thousands flip the script. The problem isn't just your score, it's that you're walking in unprepared. By the end of this video, you know how to boost your score in 50 to 100 points in 90 days or less, the 3 best lenders for bad credit approvals, and how to walk into dealership pre-approved with zero down and drive off the same day. Before we get into the game plan, I want to show you exactly how much bad credit is costing you, because once you see these numbers, you understand why every point matters. Let's say that you're buying a $40,000 car with a 72-month loan. Here's what your monthly payment will look like based on your credit score. If your score is between 720 and 850, you're paying $644 a month at 5% interest. If your score is 590 to 619, you're paying $721 a month at 9% interest. And if your score is 500 to 589, you're paying $846 a month at 15% interest. That's a $202 difference every single month between excellent credit and bad credit. Over 6 years, that's an extra $14,515 in just monthly payments. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't need perfect credit to get a decent rate. You just need to get out of the bottom tier. If you can get your score from the 500s up to the 620 range, then your payment drops from $846 to around $700. That's $144 less every month, or $10,402 saved over the life of the loan. Now, before I dive into these strategies, I need to be real with you about something. Just because you can get approved for a car loan doesn't mean that you should take on that debt. Bad credit usually means that you struggled with debt before, and that's the last thing that I want is for you to dig yourself in a deeper hole. So as we go through these options, I want you to be honest about what you can actually afford. Don't focus on getting the biggest loan possible, focus on getting the most reliable car for the least monthly cost. Let's start with the most impactful move that you can make right now, which is paying down your credit card debt. This should be your first priority because credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit score and it updates every single month. That means if you have maxed out credit cards, you can see a huge score increase in just 30 days just by paying them down. If you have a $2,000 credit limit and you own $1,800, that's 90% utilization. It's destroying your credit score. But if you pay that down to $200, you're now at 10% utilization, and your score could jump between 50 to 100 points just from that change alone. The key here is timing. You want to pay down your cards right before the statement closes. Most cards report around the same time every single month. So check when your statement closes and make sure that you pay your payment a few days earlier. I know that not everyone has cash sitting around to pay off credit cards, and that's okay. If you can't do this step, then don't stress out about it. The other strategies will still work. But if you do have some money saved up, this is hands down the fastest way to boost your score. Now, once you optimize your credit utilization, here's how you can take it up to the next level. You want to become an authorized user on someone else's credit card. When someone adds you as an authorized user to the credit card, you inherit their entire payment history for that account. If they've been making on-time payments for years, all that positive history gets added onto your credit report. This is a complete legal strategy that works almost overnight. Here's what you need to look for in an authorized user account. The account should be at least 2 to 3 years old, the longer the better, and the person should have perfect or near perfect payment history. The credit utilization should be low, ideally under 10%, and the credit limit should be decent, at least $5,000, the higher the better. Now, I know that not everyone has family or friends that are willing to do this, so if that's your situation, don't worry, I'll give you another option in just a minute. But if you do have someone who trusts you enough to add you as an authorized user, this can literally change your financial life overnight. The key here is timing. You want to get added right before their statement closes, so that the positive information reports to the credit bureaus as quickly as possible. Now, getting added on as an authorized user is great, but the best possible option, if you have bad credit, is finding a cosigner for this loan. A cosigner is different from an authorized user, as they are actually responsible for the loan if you can't pay. So here's the benefit. The lender will actually approve you based on your cosigner's credit, not yours. So if your credit score is 550, but your cosigner is 750, you qualify for rates closer to what they would get. The person you ask to cosign needs to understand that they are taking on real financial risk. If you miss payments, it will affect your credit too. But if you make all of your payments on time, it actually helps you build your credit while giving you access to better rates. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, I don't have anyone who can add me as an authorized user or cosign for me, and I hear you. Not everyone has family or friends in a position that can help. If this is the case, you have another choice, which is work with companies that sell trade lines. These are authorized user positions that you can purchase. The most popular one in the space is from Trade Line Supply. Trade lines usually cost anywhere between $300 to $800, depending on the age and the credit limit of the account. Now, it's not cheap, but if you were to consider that it could save you $6,600 over the life of your loan, then it might be worth it. There are two main variables that you should consider when you are thinking about buying a trade line. One is the age of the trade line, and the second is the credit limit of the trade line. The older the trade line and the higher the credit limit, the more expensive the trade line will be. If you have a thinner profile, meaning that you only have a couple of accounts reporting to the credit bureaus, then adding a trade line that has 5 or more years of history can really help with your credit. If you're carrying credit card debt, then adding a trade line that has a higher credit limit can balance things out for your credit utilization, and in turn, this would help with your credit score. How well authorized user accounts for buying trade lines will work really depends on your credit profile. If you have recent lates or negative accounts, the impact of trade lines or authorized user accounts will most likely be minimal. The people who will see the most impact are those with thinner credit profiles, who have lower credit limits on existing cards, or have high credit card debt that needs to balance out overall utilization. Now, if you want to take it a step further and actually remove negative items from your credit report, I gotta do my shameless plug. I do have a software that can help you with credit repair for a fraction of a cost that you would pay an agency. It's called Credit Rehab Pro and it's completely free to use. The only thing that you will need is credit monitoring, which you should have already anyways if you are serious about fixing your credit. It allows you to easily dispute as many accounts as you want across all 3 bureaus. In a matter of seconds, you can create dispute letters tailored to your situation and print them out at home. If an account wasn't deleted, then the software will suggest a new strategy for additional disputes. This is perfect if you have collections, charge-offs, or other negative items dragging down your score. Credit repair can take as little as 30 days, but it can go up to 6 months or longer depending on your situation. You see, Credit Rehab Pro isn't just another tool, it's like a credit repair expert that guides you through the entire process in the right order. And the best part is, you have full control. You can repair your credit at your own pace in your own time. I do have a link down in the description, or you can scan this QR code if you want to check it out. But honestly, I'd rather have you focus your energy on finding the right lender. Most people don't know that credit unions are completely different from banks when it comes to lending to people with bad credit. Banks are for-profit companies, and they are looking for the safest borrowers who can make them the most money. Credit unions are nonprofit, and they exist to serve their members, which means that they're much more willing to work with people with credit challenges. I'm going to share with you 3 credit unions that have a proven track record for those struggling with bad credit, along with competitive rates. But before I do that, let me tell you about something that most people get wrong when applying for auto loans. Shopping for auto loans is completely safe. People get scared when they see a bunch of inquiries on their credit report. If you're shopping for rates, try to stay within a 2-week window, because that should be safe across all scoring models depending on what lenders are pulling. So whenever you are ready to pull the trigger on buying a car, try to do it within this time frame. This way you can shop around for rates at credit unions and then go into the dealership and have them fight for your business in case they can get you a better rate or even a cheaper discount because you went through their own financing. Here are my top 3 credit unions. The first one is Navy Federal. This is my top recommendation, but there's a catch. You have to be eligible to join. You need to be military, a veteran, a Department of Defense employee, or an immediate family member of someone who qualifies. There are backdoor options, which I cover in detail in this video. If you qualify, Navy Federal offers loan rates as low as 4.09% for new vehicles. Of course, that rate is gonna be for those with excellent credit. The way I gauge how well they'll lend for those with bad credit is by starting with their lowest rate first. So if you see lenders with very low rates for people with good credit, you will generally see that trickle down. The secret to getting approved with Navy Federal with bad credit is that you want to build a relationship with them first. Don't just apply for an auto loan code. Open a checking account, make some deposits, and maybe get a secure credit card. You need to earn some brownie points. I bought cars with Navy Federal before, and it's pretty straightforward. You can apply online, through the phone, or in branch, and you can get an approval almost instantly without docs. I can't guarantee that they never ask for documentation, but based on my personal experience and data points out there, they typically won't ask. Next up, we have PenFed. PenFed is open to anyone. You don't need a military affiliation. All you gotta do is just open up a savings account. This is actually one of the few loans on the list that allows you to see if you're pre-qualified. This way you can gauge whether or not it's worth pursuing. Now, when it comes to the rates, they do offer low rates as low as 3.89% if you're using their new car buying service. If you were just to do it on your own, the interest rate would be as low as 4.69%. So you really have to figure out whether or not the car buying service is worthwhile. It's very similar to what TrueCar does. A lot of banks and lenders do something similar where you just kind of just lock in the price with no negotiating or haggling, and you will get a better interest rate. Sometimes this might be the dealer's best price, sometimes it's not. So again, you really have to do your own research. PenFed also offers up to 125% financing, which means that you should be able to finance the total cost of the car, including the taxes and fees. Lastly, we got NASA Federal Credit Union. this one is also a credit union that anyone can join. Of course, this is geared towards those who are employees or have some connection with NASA, but they will provide you a 1-year complimentary affiliate membership to the National Space Society, which gives you access to this credit union. Another great thing about this credit union is that you can actually pre-qualify for an auto loan without even becoming a member first. This way you can see your odds of whether or not you want to fully commit and start a banking relationship with this credit union. Now, when it comes to auto loans, they do have rates as low as 5.39% APR, and the higher you go up on the loan term, the higher the APR would be. This is pretty similar to any financial institution out there. They also don't require any payments for the first 60 days after closing the loan, but just keep in mind that the interest will still be accruing during this deferral period. Now you know the best credit unions out there for auto loans. Here are the action steps that I would take. First, join a credit union as a member. Some may require a small deposit, usually $5 to $25, to open up a membership account. Do this before you apply for a loan. Second, if possible, try to set up direct deposit or make regular deposits for 30 to 90 days before applying. This will show them that you're a responsible member and will significantly improve your approval odds. Third, when you apply for an auto loan, all auto loan inquiries within a 15-day window will count as a single inquiry. This means that you can shop around with multiple lenders without destroying your credit score. So here's the exact process. Join a credit union and fund your membership account. Apply for the pre-approval online or over the phone. If approved, they will give you a pre-approval letter or check up to the loan amount. Then shop for the car with the financing already secured or use it as a bargaining tool against dealer financing. Complete the purchase and provide the final paperwork to your credit union. The credit union will either cut you a check for the full amount or wire the money directly to the dealer. Either way, you're not coming out of pocket for a down payment if you don't want to. Here are some pro tips during the application process. When you apply, they're gonna be asking about your income, employment history, and monthly expenses. With bad credit, they want to see that you have stable income and can afford the monthly payment. Debt to income is very important here. They may also ask for proof of income like pay stubs, bank statements, or tax returns, but based on the credit unions that are listed, it is rare, but just have these ready just in case. But here's something that I didn't mention in this video. Everything that I share with you is completely useless if you don't know how to negotiate the best price at the dealership. See, even with the pre-approval from a credit union, dealers have tricks that they use to add thousands to your final cost through either hidden fees, overpriced add-ons, and markups. Click on this video right here if you want to learn the step-by-step negotiating tactics that will protect you from dealer tricks and assure you that you're getting the best possible deal. I'll see you in the next one.